Hey loves, welcome back to another video. If this is your first time, welcome. My name is Samira, nice to meet you. So just in case you do not know what's going on, just recently I announced my pregnancy, and the initial plan was to announce it on my birthday, but I got panic attack, I got cold feet, and I did not announce it the next day. And the love you guys showed me was absolutely mind-blowing. I'm still replying messages, I'm still replying your comments, I'm still replying on everywhere because it's just been overwhelming, it's been mind-blowing. And I first of all want to say thank you to each and every one of you for taking the time out to wish me well, and thank you to each and every one of you for being happy for me. Not gonna lie, I was not expecting that. Okay, I was not expecting it. I thought you guys, I don't know why, I just thought thank you, that's all I can say. Anyway, in today's video I'm going to be telling you guys some of the things I had to go through while I was pregnant. Okay, now if you're watching this, then you know by now that I've already given birth, and I'm just going to give you guys the backstory of everything and how pregnancy was for me. Okay, because I'm not gonna lie, pregnancy is not as easy as people make it look like. It's it's not. Okay, it's not. I remember when I was in SHS, I used to like say things like, one day I'm going to give birth to 11 kids. And now I look back and I'm just like,
you know, man,
were you on crack? Were you crazy? What was wrong with you? Because like back then I just thought, oh, how bad could it be, you know? I think since pregnancy and since childbirth, I've had like a completely different view, and my respect for parents has like completely gone higher and higher. So without further ado, let's get right into the video. And by the way, if you've also been pregnant or if you know about the experiences, just tell me how yours was and everything in the comment section. Now if you've seen that video, which I would put somewhere here or here, I'm not sure, I never know where it is, but if you watched that video, then you would know that I said I cried a lot, and the first couple of months was like traumatic for me. First of all, the first trimester, which is usually the first 3 months of pregnancy, was scary. It was just crazy. I was crying all the time, I was throwing up all the time, I was spitting a lot. So with the symptoms of pregnancy, people have different things. Mine was spitting, you guys. I couldn't go a minute or like two without spitting. Like I literally spat all the time, which was very uncomfortable because it made it very difficult for me to go to places, especially since I was trying to kind of hide my pregnancy. Like not hide it, I just didn't want anyone to know that I was pregnant, you know. So having to spit all the time was not just embarrassing, but also very uncomfortable. I'm one of those people that if someone spits around me, I cannot even eat. Or if someone gags up a bit, if I'm eating, I'll leave the food for them or something like that. So to be placed in a situation where I was actually doing this spitting like in front of people, it was so embarrassing, it was so uncomfortable, and it was hard, not gonna lie. Okay, which was another reason why you guys did not get videos during that time, because I could not bring myself to film without spitting all the time, which means there had to be a lot of cuts, and I didn't want that. The first trimester, I spent most of the time in the hospital. Like I said, I cried a lot. Like I could be crying 1 minute, the next minute I'm eating. I'll be crying, and the next minute I'm eating. I don't even know why I'm crying. So this is what hormones and pregnancy looks like. I just finished working out, as you guys can see. I'm having breakfast, and all of a sudden I start crying. That's that. Girl, you were just crying, but that just happened, okay? And for me, that was like a bit scary as well as interesting. Like, why am I crying and eating? Why is this like that? Another thing was my sense of smell. Oh my god, your sense of smell literally goes from like 0 to 100. I don't think I've ever smelled as good as I did during that time, and so I don't know what that was. As soon as I found out that I was pregnant, the game just changed. I think I was like gone for a while. Like I was literally gone for a while, and I had no idea, because like prior to, like I said in my other video, I was menstruating. Like the previous month I had menstruated, okay? So I didn't even know I was pregnant until like whatever. And the night before I even realized, I had gone out with my friends and like partied and drunk and all those things. So I had no idea, that's what I'm trying to say. But as soon as I realized that this is it, my body just went like, phew. One moment I was okay, the next moment I was in shambles. I was lying on the floor begging and struggling, whatever. I could smell food from like different places. I could hear, my sense of hearing was also very sharp at that moment. I could hear like the tiniest things, I would hear them, and I would smell the weirdest stuff. And my cravings were absolutely out of the world. Now the first trimester, I could not eat anything. The only thing I could drink was water. Well, not even real water. I could drink sparkling water a bit. I couldn't eat. which is like a mistake because I was not eating, I was throwing up more. When they say morning sickness, it's not true. Okay, it's not just morning sickness, it is everyday sickness. You can throw up anytime, anywhere, without any regard. Okay, your baby is gonna disturb you. She's just gonna say, mommy, I'm the boss. So it was just like that. Like, you guys, one moment I'm okay, and next moment I'm throwing up. Okay, now the mistake I made, which if you're pregnant, I just want to put out there, is that you need to have like crackers or some kind of biscuit around you when you throw up a lot. Because I realized that each time I woke up and I did not eat, my baby will start acting up, like I'll start throwing up and all those things. Later on I found that out the hard way. But basically, when you're pregnant, even though you cannot eat, you're supposed to eat something. So crackers and, you know, like all those small things, snacking will like definitely take you a long way. Around that time, I hated meat, I hated food, I hated like almost everything, you guys. I couldn't have juice. I remember I stocked my fridge with like juice and everything, and I didn't even touch them because I couldn't stand it. I remember during one of my checkups, like during one of my scans, my ultrasounds, they found out that I had a fibroid. I had fibroid. Okay, I didn't even have one, I had two giant ones just like floating in my stomach and everything. And you guys, once you find that out, like I was going to this hospital that was really good because my partner wanted me to like have the best in terms of medication and everything. So the hospital found out that I had this, and then as soon as they did, they were like, you know what, we have to like do a cervical cerclage. I'll put the definition here, but basically they seal your cervix to make sure that you don't have preterm birth. So what happens is if your cervix is not shattered, is that you can have a premature birth or you can have a miscarriage. Okay, so the doctor advised that we have the cervix shut by the seal and all those things, so we had to undergo that surgery. And mind you, at the time I had not told my family, I had not told lots of people. I think getting to that time I realized what was going on and I called my mom and I told her, but unfortunately my mom could not be with me during that surgery, so it was just me, my partner and his family. And you guys, if I tell you that I was super scared, I was super scared. Basically I had to go to the hospital like on a particular day, do the surgery in the morning, like around 6 or something like that. And the night before I was not supposed to eat anything, and then I was just go in and have the surgery, and then I was supposed to stay in the hospital for like 3 or 4 days to like for them to check me, like make sure everything is fine. Because of the anesthesia and everything, I slept through it all. I don't think I've ever gone through like an operation like that, because like I went in there, one moment they gave me the oxygen or whatever it was, and I'm just like breathing and trying very hard to stay awake because that's how I am. And then the next moment I was gone, and when I woke up everything was done, and I'm just like, what's going on? Like I didn't feel anything, you guys. It was a bit scary when I woke up because I was just like, oh my god, is that how you can just die? Because like you can just close your eyes and you're gone. Like it was scary. Anyway, that happened, and it took me a while to recover. I think it took me a week or two to recover. Walking was not that easy, and I was asked to take a lot of rest because the stitches had to like heal a bit before. During that time they did give me antibiotics to make sure I didn't get an infection and everything. Because I also had a fibroid, I was in the hospital almost every other week because they had to like monitor me very well to make sure the fibroid was not squeezing the baby or like any of those things. So I went to the hospital a lot, not gonna lie, I was there all the time. During the first trimester, I remember I had to go to a friend's wedding and I was so sick. I was freaking sick, but I hadn't told anyone. I didn't want to tell anyone. So I remember the only thing that gave me strength was going to a hospital for a drip. That literally helped me because getting the drip made me stronger to be able to do things. And funny enough, during the time I took the drip, I wasn't spitting as much. I don't know why I didn't do it often, but I wasn't spitting as much when I took the drip. So that's just like a tip for anyone out there. Apart from that, nothing worked for the spitting. Absolutely nothing worked. So the second trimester, like I was saying, was very easy. I could walk around, I could do more things. Fortunately for me, my pregnancy was not very huge. Like I wasn't very showy. My clothes still fit even to the very last minute, and I still have people that did not even know that I was pregnant even when I was in my third trimester. One moment my stomach was flat and getting to the end it just came like poof, and I'm like, okay, this is where we are now. I think that video you guys saw was like getting to the end of my pregnancy, to be honest. But second trimester, super cool, but crying never stopped, you guys. I was at a place and at a time that I couldn't explain to anybody. I couldn't tell anyone what I was going through, and I could not even explain my own emotions. Like my hormones were all over the place and it just felt like I was dying, but I was not. The first time I had my baby kick, oh my god, you guys, I have insomnia, okay? Recently I found out that I have ADHD as well, but that's a topic for another day. So during the time I could not sleep at all. So usually I would stay up during the night to watch movies, eat, sleep, cry, eat, repeat, and all those things. And there was this particular night that I was just lying down and she kicked. Okay, now I think my baby was a very calm baby, so sweet. She wasn't like one of those very super active babies, but she was so sweet. And the first day she kicked, I was just like, oh my gosh, she kicked. Like, I was lying in bed late at night and she kicked, and I'm like, am I imagining things? She just kicked. And that for me was like the sweetest thing. Now from a trimester to the other, right, what I found very interesting was the fact that one moment your stomach is straight up flat, and each day, each growing moment, you just feel like your stomach getting harder and harder, and it feels like you're bloated, but it doesn't hurt like you're bloated, but at the same time you feel like your stomach is expanding in a very weird way. Another thing I realized during my second trimester was that sleeping became very difficult for me, in a sense that my back was hurting so much. And from what I heard, mine was even better, because like people who have much bigger stomachs than I had at that time can usually not sleep, and most people recommend that you get a pregnancy pillow, but at the time I didn't want that. Like, I checked pregnancy pillows almost every day, but I kept thinking, oh, when I'm done, what do I do with it? Because I don't think I want to have a baby anytime soon. Do I have to just keep a pregnancy pillow around? Sometimes I do that a lot. Sometimes I overthink things and I never get them. So that's how I just kept talking about it and asking myself, and I never got it. So what I used to do was that I would get my pillow and then put one between my legs, one beside my tummy, and then one at my back, just to give me the support that I need. And this definitely helped. People swear by the pregnancy pillow, and to be honest, I wish I had tried it, because I think it would have been fun, but I did not get one. Okay, so I cannot say much about it. But yes, sleeping was difficult. Another thing during the second trimester, or getting to the end of the second trimester, was the fact that as time went on, I realized that it was very difficult for me to poo. I'm sorry if that's disgusting. It got difficult and more difficult as time went on. People say you get hemorrhoids during that time, and I think I did too, but it wasn't that bad. I did have hemorrhoids. Yeah. During that time, oh my god, you guys, out of nowhere I started eating so much. You guys, I would eat at 2 a.m. Still in the second trimester, because I had fibroid and everything. I also had this Brexit cakes. I don't know what, something, okay, but I had like a lot of contractions during that time as well. So the doctor had to prescribe he had to give me some medication to make sure that he had to give me like some magnesium and all those things to make sure that I do not get contractions, like my contractions were not as bad. Hey guys, I have to take medication every day. That's the scariest thing for me, because if you know me, I don't like medication. I don't like injections. I don't like medications, and having to do them every day, scary. Like I said, madness. I had those cakes, whatever cakes they are, and so the doctor gave me medication to stop that, which definitely helped, except that when I got to my third trimester, that kind of backfired a bit, because there was no proper communication as to when I should stop taking those, and I don't think I ever asked them properly when I should stop taking them. So I think I had passed the time I was supposed to take them, which made things tiny bit difficult when I got to my third trimester. Another thing I like that went on a lot was like vaginal discharges. Throughout my pregnancy, I had discharges. It was serious. At a point I thought something was wrong with me, right, only to find out that it's absolutely normal. And I also realized that during that time it was so easy for me to get an infection. Like, I didn't even have to do much. Like, I wasn't even going anywhere. That's a thing, okay? And once in a while you would go there and they're like, oh, you have the CT, and I'm like, wait, what? Another thing was blood works. Oh my god, they will prick the shit out of you, man. Every week they had to check to make sure that something was not going on. I think also because I just had fibroid, because I was always like going in for one checkup or the other, which was super scary. Super scary. That was not fun. That was not fun. A lot of leg cramping. Sometimes I would get dizzy out of nowhere. Not fun. Not fun. Moving on to the third trimester. My battery is about to die, so I'm gonna change it right now and continue. Okay. Invited. My third trimester, my bladder was like this, you guys. I peed like a fish every second of the day. I was just gonna pick up. I peed so much. My discharges definitely increased so bad, because I was taking the medication for my contractions. That kind of reduced a bit. I wasn't getting as much contractions as I should get, which later on bit me in the ass. There was like shortness of breath, which was super weird because like I said, I didn't get too big. I was very active in my third trimester, but every now and then I would still get tired and like feel like my breath was not, like I was sharing my breath with someone else. You know how you run for like 2 meters or 20 meters and just like that was me. Okay, it was bad. And oh my god, I had heartburns, freaking heartburn. I think I started getting heartburn like second trimester or something like that. And in the beginning I thought you had like, you only get heartburn when you eat spicy food. No sis, no. Okay, even if I smelled tomato, I'll get heartburn. Like there were times that I would just eat something that was like nothing and so get heartburn. So I had to stay away from tomatoes, I had to stay away from anything spicy. Anything and everything could give me heartburn, and it wasn't just like a slight, but it was extremely uncomfortable, so bad that you want to throw up but you cannot throw up. Another thing was veins. Like my veins were like popping out. I feel like my veins are popping out. They're so green and scary. What's this? Do you see it? I remember around that time someone looked at me and was like, why are your veins so weird? She didn't know I was pregnant, by the way, but I was so upset because like she made me feel like I was getting old. So I feel like the closer I got to giving birth, the more afraid I became, you guys. I started like googling more, I started like looking at things more. I could never bring myself to watch proper videos of people giving birth because it just demoralizes me. Another thing that made me very paranoid was getting to the time of my birth. I was so afraid that I was gonna die, and it came out of nowhere, you guys. It was so random. It was so, and oh my god, talking about this is making me teary, but it was so random. It was so out of the blue, and like I would just like have this panic that I could die. Like there was a time that I just like strongly believed that I might actually die while giving birth, and that was a very weird thing because like I'm not one of those people that usually think about those things. Death will come someday, but like I don't go, like I'm not paranoid about it. But I remember when I was giving, like before I gave birth, I would get really paranoid. Like there was this time that I like get into like a couple, like when I knew I was like 38, 37 or something like that, I was like, I was so scared. Like I just had a feeling that I was gonna die. Later on I did find out that there are a lot of people who usually get afraid about that as well, but at the time, like I said, I had no one to ask. Dying was a thing and it was super scary. Like it's something I never wish on my worst enemy. So getting to the time I was supposed to give birth, what happened was that because I was having like the contractions earlier, and then they gave me medications and I didn't stop taking them. What happened was that getting to the time of my pregnancy, I was still not getting contractions. Like I was at week 39 and most people would have gotten like a lot of contractions by then, but I was getting nothing. Like it wasn't that bad. Like the contractions I was getting was not that bad. So I remember back then I went to the hospital and the doctor was like, you know, we might have to induce you because you don't feel any pain. I know they always say that no birth whatever is right, but for some weird reason I just thought having a CS would be more painful, and I didn't want to do that. Like I genuinely wanted to have a natural birth. So when he said he was going to induce me, or he was going to like, and I had induction was very painful as well. When he said he was going to induce me, or like we should start ready for whatever, I was just like, oh my god, don't do this to me. I'm pretty sure there's certain things that I left out because my brain is very fuzzy. But yes, you guys, that's what my whole pregnancy journey was. This video is already too long. I don't know why I spoke too much. But in my next video, hopefully I'll be telling you guys about the labor itself and everything that came with it. Right after that, I think I went into labor and how that happened, what I did to induce my own labor and everything. I'll make sure I tell you guys in that video. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you've not subscribed yet, please do that. Some of you have actually reached out to me and told me to tell you guys my experiences and everything because some of you are about to get into it. And if I'm being honest, I wish my favorite influencers had told me about getting pregnant, but I wish I had known some of these things before I got into it, because most of the time I felt like I was just lost. Most of it I felt like, oh my god, I'm never gonna survive this, because I just didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know what was going on. So let me know if there's anything else you want me to talk about. If I left something out, let me know. Thank you guys so much for being absolutely amazing. Thank you guys so much for watching out for me, for all the congratulations, for the love. Oh my god, I'm still overwhelmed. And I'll see you in my next video. I love you guys so much. Oh my god, I can't even say it enough. And bye.